Japan is a place where the ancient and the ultramodern exist in perfect harmony, where thousand-year-old temples stand in the shadow of neon-lit towers, and where spiritual traditions have survived centuries of change. Welcome to the wonders of Japan, where we begin our journey in the heart of its greatest cities, exploring the sacred spaces that have shaped the soul of this remarkable nation. In the vibrant Asakusa district of Tokyo lies a temple that has welcomed pilgrims and seekers for over 13 centuries. Sensoji, also known as Asakusa Kannon Temple, stands as Tokyo's oldest and most significant Buddhist temple, its origins tracing back to the year 645 CE. According to legend, two brothers built this sacred sanctuary to honor Kannon, the goddess of mercy, and for nearly 1400 years, it has remained a beacon of spiritual devotion in one of the world's largest and most bustling cities. Your journey through Sensoji begins at the magnificent Kaminariman, the Thunder Gate, crowned with an enormous red lantern that has become one of Tokyo's most recognizable symbols. This imposing entrance, with its fearsome guardian statues, marks the threshold between the modern urban world and a sacred realm that has endured for over 1,000 years. Passing through this gate, you step into a world suspended in time, where the spiritual essence of Japan remains palpable despite the metropolis that surrounds it. Beyond the Thunder Gate stretches the Nakamai shopping street, a bustling corridor of traditional vendors selling everything from souvenirs to street food. This lively atmosphere sets Sensoji apart from many other Japanese temples, which often maintain a more austere and meditative character. Here, the sacred and the commercial blend seamlessly, reflecting the Japanese philosophy that spirituality and daily life are not separate realms but deeply interwoven aspects of existence. The main hall itself is an architectural marvel, drawing visitors from around the world who come to offer prayers, light incense, and seek blessings. Fortune-telling stations dot the temple grounds, where visitors can draw their fate from wooden boxes, adding an element of playful spirituality to the experience. During the annual Sanja Matsuri festival in May, the temple grounds come alive with thousands of participants carrying portable shrines through the streets, transforming the entire Asakusa district into a celebration of community and tradition. But if Tokyo represents Japan's ability to blend tradition with modernity, then Kyoto represents the very soul of traditional Japan itself. The former imperial capital for over 1,000 years, Kyoto is home to more than 1,600 Buddhist temples and 400 Shinto shrines, making it a sanctuary of spiritual and cultural legacy unlike anywhere else on earth. Walking through Kyoto's streets is like stepping into a living museum where the past has never truly faded away. Among Kyoto's most visually striking treasures is Fushimi Inari Taisha, perhaps the most iconic shrine in all of Japan. Dedicated to the Shinto deity of rice and business, this shrine has captivated both pilgrims and photographers for centuries. What makes Fushimi Inari extraordinary is not the main shrine building at the mountain's base, but the thousands upon thousands of vermilion torii gates that wind up Mount Inari like glowing tunnels leading to heaven itself. These gates, donated by devotees over the centuries, stretch for nearly 4 kilometers up the mountainside, creating a passage that feels almost otherworldly. As you hike through these corridors of vermilion wood, smaller sub-shrines appear along the path, each one a testament to centuries of devotion. Stone fox statues, known as messengers of Inari, stand as silent guardians throughout the sanctuary. The experience of walking through Fushimi Inari is not merely sightseeing but a spiritual journey, a pilgrimage that connects you to countless generations of Japanese people who have sought blessings and spiritual renewal in this sacred place. Another of Kyoto's supreme treasures is Kinkakuji, the Golden Pavilion, a Buddhist temple covered entirely in gold leaf that seems to float above tranquil gardens like a vision from a dream. Built in the 14th century as a retirement villa for a shogun, it was later converted into a temple and has become one of the most photographed buildings in the world. Yet no photograph can truly capture the transcendent beauty of seeing the Golden Pavilion reflected in the still waters of its surrounding pond, the gold seeming to shimmer with an inner light that speaks to something deep within the human spirit. In the city of Nara, another wonder awaits. Todaiji Temple houses Japan's largest bronze Buddha statue within Japan's largest wooden building, a structure so vast that it seems to defy the laws of physics. Built in the 8th century, this temple exemplifies ancient Japan's extraordinary artistic and engineering prowess. The Daibutsudan, or Great Buddha Hall, was destroyed by fire twice throughout history, yet was rebuilt each time, with the current structure dating from 1709 still standing at 2/3 of its original size. The Great Buddha itself, cast from over 400 tons of bronze, sits in serene contemplation, its presence radiating a calm authority that has inspired millions of visitors across the centuries. Back in Tokyo, another sacred space offers a different kind of wonder. The Meiji Shrine, completed in 1920 to honor Emperor Meiji and Empress Shoken, may be younger than many other Japanese temples, yet it follows traditional Shinto architectural principles with perfect authenticity. What makes Meiji Shrine truly remarkable is that it sits within a 170-acre evergreen forest containing 120,000 trees, all donated from across Japan as gifts of respect. Walking through this forest sanctuary in the heart of Tokyo, surrounded by towering cedars and the sound of birdsong, you would never know that one of the world's largest cities exists just beyond the tree line. Along Japan's coastal regions, smaller towns preserve their own spiritual treasures. Anamichi, known for its poetic landscapes and meditative temple walks, has several Shinto shrines beautifully integrated into steep hillsides. Many of these temples were miraculously spared from destruction during World War II bombing, allowing them to survive in their original state. Senkoji offers sweeping views over the town and the Seto Inland Sea, while Saikokuji displays a magnificent three-storied pagoda, and Jodoji houses an 11-faced statue of the goddess Guanyin, reminding us that Japanese spirituality has always drawn from multiple traditions, creating something uniquely Japanese. Perhaps the most sacred of all Japan's Shinto sites is the Ayase Grand Shrine in Toba, dedicated to the sun goddess Amaterasu and the grain goddess Toyukime. This awe-inspiring complex is rebuilt every 20 years in accordance with ancient Shinto principles of renewal known as Tokawaka, an architectural ritual that has continued unbroken for over 1,300 years. Walking through its towering cypress gates and past gravel paths lined with wooden torii, you experience not just a place of worship but a living connection to Japan's deepest spiritual traditions, a humbling encounter with the sacred that transcends time itself. In Miyazaki, the shrine dedicated to Emperor Jimmu, Japan's legendary first emperor, sits enveloped in ancient forest despite its location in the heart of the city. The unpainted cedar buildings blend so seamlessly into their surroundings that they seem to have grown from the earth itself. Here, the sense of peace can be profound, with little sound beyond the rustling of leaves and the soft tapping of footsteps on stone paths. This is where Japan's mythological past meets the present moment, where the boundary between history and spirituality dissolves entirely. From the bustling temples of Tokyo and Kyoto to the sacred shrines hidden in coastal towns and ancient forests, Japan's temples and shrines represent far more than architectural achievements. They are repositories of spiritual wisdom, living traditions that have survived centuries of change, and sacred spaces where millions have sought meaning, peace, and connection to something greater than themselves. As we journey deeper into Japan's wonders, we discover that these temples and shrines are not merely destinations to visit but gateways to understanding the very heart of Japanese culture and spirituality. Yet beyond these sacred enclaves, Japan's true majesty unfolds in its breathtaking natural wonders, where the raw power of the earth collides with ethereal beauty to create landscapes that have inspired poets, artists, and wanderers for centuries. Dominating this symphony of nature stands Mount Fuji, the iconic stratovolcano that rises 3,776 meters above the surrounding plains, its perfectly symmetrical cone a symbol of Japan's enduring spirit. Cloaked in snow for much of the year, Fujisan, as it is reverently called, draws pilgrims and photographers alike, especially during the climbing season from early July to mid-September, when thousands ascend its trails to witness the sunrise known as Goreiko from the summit. At its base, the Fuji Five Lakes region offers serene vistas, with Lake Kawaguchiko providing the most dramatic reflections, turning the mountain into a living canvas that shifts from fiery sunrises to serene moonlit silhouettes. Nearby, hot springs bubble up from the volcanic soil, inviting visitors to soak while gazing at the ever-present sentinel. This sacred peak, designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, embodies the Japanese reverence for nature's perfection, where every season paints a new masterpiece, cherry blossoms framing its base in spring, vibrant autumn foliage in fall, and a pristine whitecap in winter. Venturing westward, the Tottori sand dunes emerge as an otherworldly contrast to Japan's forested mountains, the largest sand dunes in the country stretching 16 kilometers along the Sea of Japan coast. These shifting seas of sand, formed by coastal winds over millennia, rise up to 50 meters high and transform with the seasons, their rippling patterns sculpted by relentless breezes. From May to August, climbers scale the dunes for the unforgettable spectacle of sunset over the ocean, the sun's glow casting long shadows across the undulating waves of sand. Paragliders soar above, revealing footprints like abstract art, while camel rides and sandboarding add adventure to this desert-like anomaly in a land of greenery. Further south, the Naruto Strait unleashes one of nature's most hypnotic displays, the world's largest whirlpools, where the Pacific Ocean and Seto Inland Sea clash with ferocious power. Twice daily at high tide, these swirling maelstrom reach diameters of 20 meters and depths of 20 meters, their roar audible from viewing platforms like the Yuzu no Michi walkway suspended beneath the Naruto Bridge. Best seen in spring and fall during full or new moons, the whirlpools draw daredevils for glass-bottom boat tours that venture perilously close to the churning heart. This tidal phenomenon reminds us of Japan's position on the volatile Pacific Ring of Fire, where ocean forces sculpt the land in dramatic fashion. In the far north, Shiratoko National Park on Hokkaido's eastern edge stands as a pristine wilderness, a UNESCO World Heritage Site teeming with wildlife and raw elemental beauty. Here, snow-capped peaks tower over dense forests and sheer cliffs that drop into the Okhotsk Sea, where drift ice floats in winter, supporting unique marine life. Boat cruises reveal thundering waterfalls cascading down mountainsides, pods of orcas hunting salmon, and bands of brown bears patrolling riverbanks for fish, Japan's largest carnivores thriving in this untouched haven. Hiking trails like the Shiratoko Five Lakes offer boardwalks through ancient cedar forests, where the air hums with the calls of eagles and deer. Sailing south to the subtropical island of Yakushima, a UNESCO treasure off Kyushu's coast, visitors step into a Jurassic-like realm of moss-covered cedars older than Japan's recorded history. The Jamansugi, a colossal Yakusuji cedar estimated at 7,000 years old, this ancient forest, its gnarled roots twisting through emerald moss flocks that carpets the ground like a living tapestry. Trails wind past thundering waterfalls, crystalline rivers teeming with fish, and serene hot springs, while the island's rugged shores invite kayaking amid diverse marine life. Shiratani Unsukyo Ravine, with its Taikoiwa viewpoint, offers vistas straight from a fantasy tale, where every step reveals the island's rich biodiversity, from endemic monkeys to rare birds. Even further south, Kabira Bay on Ishigaki Island in Okinawa dazzles with some of Japan's clearest waters, a marine paradise where powdery white sands meet emerald shallows alive with coral gardens. Glass-bottom boats reveal a underwater wonderland of colorful fish darting among reefs, while the bay's heart-shaped rock formations add poetic charm. Snorkelers float above sea turtles and manta rays, and the surrounding Yaeyama Islands offer mangrove kayaking and star-filled night skies unmarred by light pollution. This southern gem highlights Japan's vast archipelago, stretching from subarctic chills to tropical bliss. Deep in the northern Japanese Alps, Kurobe Gorge carves one of Japan's deepest V-shaped ravines, a testament to geological fury framed by lush forests. The Kurobe Dam, Japan's tallest at 186 meters, feeds a turquoise river that roars through the valley, accessible via the scenic trolley train and the thrilling Kurobe Bridge, a swaying walkway 60 meters above the abyss. Autumn brings fiery foliage that ignites the cliffs, while spring wildflowers dot the trails, making this remote haven a hiker's dream amid the rugged peaks. In Miyazaki Prefecture, Takachiho Gorge enchants with its sheer basalt cliffs formed by ancient lava flows, where the Gokase River snakes through under the 17-meter Mina-Inawa waterfall. Rent a rowboat to paddle emerald waters reflecting the gorge's verdant walls, or hike trails for panoramic overlooks steeped in Japanese mythology. This is said to be where gods descended to earth. Mist rises eternally from the falls, veiling the scene in mystery. On the Kii Peninsula, Nachi Falls, Japan's tallest single-drop cascade at 133 meters, harmonizes with the three-tiered pagoda of Seigantoji Temple, a scene capturing Japan's spiritual bond with nature. This sacred site in Yoshino-Kumano National Park draws pilgrims along ancient trails, where the roar of water mingles with temple bells amid dense cedar forests. Closer to cultural hearts, Kyoto's Arashiyama Bamboo Grove transports visitors into a whispering cathedral of giants, where stalks soar 20 meters high, their leaves rustling like wind chimes. Dawn visits reveal the path bathed in ethereal light, untouched by crowds. Mount Yoshino explodes each spring with 30,000 cherry trees blanketing its slopes in pink waves, Japan's premier hanami spot leading to Kinpasenji Temple and pilgrimage paths. In Tohoku's Tawada Hashimantai National Park, Oirace Valley's babbling brook meanders 14 kilometers through a riot of autumn colors, illuminating the forest floor. Amami Oshima's mangrove forests, paddled by canoe, shelter endangered species, culminating at the iconic heart rock-piercing azure waves. Kyushu's Asokoju National Park cradles the massive Aso caldera, where grasslands roll endlessly and active volcanoes puff steam amid crater lakes. Izuzuki Yura Bay teems with coral and fish, while Joran Falls plunges through virgin beach forests on Mtamaji. These natural spectacles, from volcanic peaks to tidal whirlpools, mangrove wilds to alpine gorges, reveal Japan's boundless diversity, a land where every corner pulses with elemental drama. As we turn from these scenic masterpieces to the vibrant pulse of its cities and modern marvels,